Hello everybody, welcome back to Learning Lockdown with me, Matt, again. So today's a little bit of an interesting one. I'm quite excited about this. So we've done 10 lessons now. Whoa, cool. So 10 minute-ish lessons. It's 100 minutes, more than an hour and a half. Hopefully you've practiced a lot more than that though. So what I wanted to make this video rather than a lesson, this video all about is the TLDR, or the Too Long Didn't Read version of our last 10 lessons. So without further ado, what I would like to do is to go through each one and go through all of them within 10 minutes. So I've got a timer that we're just going to put on, and we're just going to go through each lesson again for 1 minute each lesson. So this will be a very quick summary essentially of our first 10 lessons. And it's been really cool to kind of revisit all of them, make sure it's all stuck, do a little bit of testing, see if I remember all of them as well, and then we're going to move on from there with another section. It's got a theme, the next section. So let's start. So I guess here we go. The first lesson, started the timer. The first lesson was all about tuning, right? So in this camera here, we've got 6 strings. We remember the notes, don't we? E, A, D, G, B, E. And we refer to them in numbers. So we have the first string is the highest one. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And that is the tuning. So how do we tune it? We fret down on the 5th fret on the... Well, firstly, don't forget, we tune our highest string, don't we? To an E tune. To an E note, and then we fret down on the string we would like to tune next, the B string, and we play fret 5 along with that. Then we play fret 4 on the next one, fret 5 on the next one, fret 5 on the next one, and then fret 5 on that one too. And they should be all lovely and in tune. So there we go, that was lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, we looked at advanced tuning ideas. So we tune using harmonics, which can be a lot more accurate. So first again, we tune our highest string to an E. Then we use a harmonic where instead of fretting down, we just go on the fret wire of fret 5, just after that fret. And we don't push down on it, but just rest and play. I'll turn the guitar up so you can hear that. And then we also play the harmonic on fret 7 on the highest E string, and those two harmonics are the same. The next two we play 4 and open, then we use harmonics again on fret 5 and 7, 5 and 7, 5 and 7. You're always using the harmonic on fret 5 on the string you want to tune, and fret 7 on the next highest one. There we go, and that was lesson number 2. So going well. Lesson number 3 was Smoke on the Water, our very first song, our very first riff that we learned to play. It was really cool, just straight in. I thought it'd be nice to go straight in, no theory, don't need any of that stuff yet. We just want to have a bit of fun, right? So Smoke on the Water, 2 middle strings, string 3 and string 4, open, we call it, and then we fret down on fret 3 and fret down on fret 5. 6, 5 there. Open, 3, 5, open, 3, 6, 5, open, 3, 5, 3, open. And that's the lead up of that bass bit. Let's play it with a pick. Cool. And that was lesson number 3. Lesson number 4, we started talking a little bit about theory, not too much really, but the theory of power chords. And power chords being that nicely accessible way of playing more than one note at once. I guess that was a chord technically, wasn't it? Those Smoke on the Water. But we're playing more than one note at once, playing a chord. Power chord idea is that you play, let's go with the lowest string first, 6th string, fret 3, you know I like my G note. So we played G on fret 3, on the lowest string, and then 5 on the next highest string, and then 5 on the next highest string. And not forgetting, we're using this finger to just rest on the rest of them, this one here, and we're just resting, and these are muted. So that's our power chord. And that can be moved up and down the neck. We played Eric Clapton on the next string higher. Cool, so that was good fun. Then we had a look at real chords, didn't we? We played a few chords. So let's do a breakdown in the next in this minute of some chords, shall we? So we've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And back to A. They're all the major ones. So we learned, I think in that one, we definitely went with G on that one. And we went with D as well, I think, and C. I think they were them. You're really well together. Cool. So there were some real chords, and we had a look at the chord diagrams, and I put that in the description so you can download that on lesson 5. So, lesson number 6 was all about strumming and using picks, wasn't it? So, still got my small stubby, still on that one. It's great, these little picks. Allows me to have quite a lot of attack, and it's quite small and quick. So we talked about strumming and picking. So we pick with a down pick or an up pick, and I mentioned how I hold it at a 90 degree to the string personally. A lot of people might use one finger, which is fine. I like to put my middle finger just on the edge as well. Give it a little bit more stability, and you end up with that kind of shape. And then you can have a bit more attack to it. So you can alternate pick, and you can strum and have a strumming pattern. Cool. So that was strumming and picking. Then we were looking at learning to read tab. And we had a look at the tab for that Cream track, wasn't it? See if I remember this. That's not right. Cool. Yeah, so we looked at that one, didn't we? With that vibrato, I remember explaining that, the levering on the side of the neck, just making that circle around the neck, and then wobbling your whole arm, getting that vibrato going. Cool. So that was the reading tab. Then we looked at lesson 8, wasn't it? Music theory on the neck. So we're talking about the notes on the neck, so we understood where the notes are. This was our first bite of the theory pie, if you like. So starting on the A, we're talking about 12 notes. A sharp, B, remember B doesn't have a sharp, C sharp, D sharp, E also doesn't have a sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A. And you can do that on any string, can't you? You can start on B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B. So notes on the neck, really important that we know them so we can wherever those notes are, we can find them, can't we? Because we know all the frets and how many there are and where they are. Then with that note theory on where they were on the neck, we can figure out E, F sharp, G, like G, and we learned in lesson 9 the scale, major scale. So we learned tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. And that was our major scale. And then with that major scale, we looked at the Wish You Were Here song, didn't we? Cool. Then we talked about major chords, which is what I just alluded to there in that G shape, and the idea that a major chord is built up of 3 notes. I can't do that with a pick. 3 notes. The first note of the scale being the root, the third of the scale telling you whether it's a major or a minor. We'll look at that, and minors in another lesson as well. And then the 5th note, which is what they call the perfect. So we have first, third, 5th. So in a bar chord, in a power chord, you have the first note, and then the next string, that 5, is actually the 5th, and the next one is an octave. So you only have the first and the 5th. But in a chord like this, you end up with the first, third, 5th, first, 5th, first. And you can do that with any of them and figure out what they are, because you know where the notes are on the neck, what the string names are, etc., etc. So that, my friends, was a very quick 10-minute, too long didn't read, of the first 10 lessons that we've been through. And just remember, keep practicing. You'll only get better. The more you practice, the more you know. And you can just keep playing, and you'll get better and better all the time. The next lessons we're going to do, I'm going to do the next 5 all on technique. So we're going to have things like hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides, bends, and we're going to start being able to do some of those cool solos, I guess. We'll have to figure out a few, won't we? So until next time, thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.